A couple of weeks ago, I brought you the story of a new Pew Religion Center study, which showed that no religious affiliation is the fastest growing choice for respondents in Pew's annual religion survey. And I made clear at the time that when someone says none as their religious affiliation, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are atheists. It doesn't necessarily mean that they don't believe in a God, although it may. What it really tells us is they don't affiliate with an organized religion. And that can be good, that can be bad. I wasn't presenting it at the time as a sort of value judgment or value statement. It was simply to tell you that the evidence indicates that people are moving away from organized religion. Some portion of them are atheists or non-believers of different stripes. But the point was that the role of organized religion is diminishing in American society. And after we did that story, I started thinking about the ways in which religion is sort of being defeated. And I use that word again. I'm not trying to use it in a sort of, I'm using it in a value neutral way. And it's not that religion is sort of being defeated in the modern West because churches are losing followers, although that's happening. It's not just that organized religion is losing adherents, although that's also happening. And it's not even necessarily about people no longer literally believing religious teachings or no longer believing in a God, also, although that also is happening. It's not even really about secularism, the separation of church and state, although we are working to make that a reality. We want separation of church and state. What I sort of realized was the way in which we can see that religion is in a downfall is that none of the big ideas are coming from religion anymore. No, will they, I would argue. Think back for a second. When you think back to math during the golden age of Islam, for example, or the development of science within the Catholic Church, there's a really good argument to be made that these advancements didn't come from the religion, but they came during a time when most people were religiously affiliated. So sort of like by definition, advancements were at least nominally tied to those religions. You don't even have to debate that at this point. If you imagine the big inventions of the 21st century, whatever you think they're going to be, or imagine humanity 500 years from now or 1,000 years from now, are the most important or the most relevant advancements and discoveries from humans going to come from religion? Can we make that case at all? I don't think that we can. Like, what is the Catholic Church doing in 2018 that is monumental for humanity right now? What element of 25th century humans will be impacted by the research and teachings of Orthodox Jews in 2018? In what way is Islam today going to push the ball forward for Homo sapiens in the next 100 years or 200 years? We won't know for some time, but the real way I would argue that religion has been pushed aside in the West is that it's simply no longer part of what's shaping the future of humanity. And, you know, religious belief, it could grow, it could fall, it impacts humanity. Whether people go to church influences people's daily lives. But religion is basically no longer playing a role in figuring out the major issues facing Homo sapiens. Climate change, religion is not playing a role in figuring out climate change. Moving beyond humans as merely being on Earth, moving to a multiplanetary species. Religion is not playing a role in that, other than trying to maybe restrict it. Dealing with the current coming technological revolution, the development of artificial intelligence, how that's going to impact the relationships of humans to work and to the economy. Religion has things to say about it, but do we think that in 300 years, religion will have figured out any of those issues? I don't know how anyone can make that case. And that's how I believe religion is going to fade in terms of its influence in determining the future of humanity. And it's really important, Pat, for me to point out, this isn't an attack on religion, right? I have views on religious belief. I've espoused them. We can talk about the impact of religious belief on crime or on the economy or whatever you want to talk about. I'm not making a value judgment. What I'm saying is that at this point, what is shaping the future of humanity, what is going to answer the big questions in the next 50, 100, however many years, is not going to come from religion. And I would hope, Pat, that people don't see that as an offensive thing. If they disagree, let me know why you disagree.
Well, I think if anything, religion's going to stifle scientific and medical advancements, because when we talk about the way of the future, things like CRISPR, like gene editing techniques, or we talk about stem cell research, or we talk about vaccines, like the people that are against all of those sorts of programs, not all of them, but many of them tend to be part of the religious community. They disagree with it on a religious basis. And that stuff, that position, that viewpoint is holding us back on all those things.
Yeah, so you're actually going further. You're actually saying it's not that religion will be a non-factor in what is most important for humans in the next however many years. You're actually saying that it may be a limiting influence, and I don't disagree with that, although it was not, you don't need to debate that merely to recognize that that is really a way in which religion has been pushed aside. Am I wrong? Do you disagree? If so, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. If you believe that religion is still going to, over the next 100 years, 200 years, be part of the big discoveries, the big advancements that impact the daily lives of humans, of Homo sapiens, then I want to hear from you. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman, and the show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. Quick break. We've got a great Friday show for you today. Today's program is sponsored in part by Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've talked about Blinkist before. It's this awesome app that I've been using for several months now. And what it does is take the best and most critically acclaimed nonfiction books and condenses them into 15-minute audiobooks that you can listen to in one sitting. You could listen to 10 books in an afternoon. I know that many in our audience want to expand their horizons and learn more about all sorts of different topics, but we're mostly limited by time to some degree. I know I'm not able to read all of the books that I want simply because I've got other stuff going on, and that's why Blinkist is such a great tool. You can absorb the most important information and insights from a book in one sitting, and our audience can get a 7-day free trial by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. If you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the video description. And after that free trial, if you like Blinkist, and I think you are going to like it, you can continue enjoying thousands of condensed audiobooks for about $5 a month. Go to blinkist.com/PAKMAN.